Hi, everyone. This is Victoria Valdez, Master's of Marriage and Family Therapy, a clinician out in Brentwood, Tennessee, also a parenting coach. And so this is volume 1 of my parenting video blog. And today's video is just going to be providing you with 3 tips on how to shift from talking at your teen to talking with them, moving from lecturing to having more of a discussion. Changing your communication with them allows you to be able to have a healthier relationship with them, amongst so many other things, right? I'm also a parent myself. I have got 3 kids, one of them a teenager, one of them in elementary school, and another one's a baby. So I've got all stages of life here to support you through experiences in all stages of life. I myself am a lecturer in recovery. It's true. I had to really teach myself to change my communication to foster and nurture and encourage discussions. Before I became a counselor, I worked a lot in foster care, residential treatment centers, and had a lot of experience learning early on how to change my communication with children and teens to foster discussion, get some understanding, build bonding. So lots of experience in that area. A lot of my parents that I work with tell me, my teen doesn't talk to me. They avoid me. They just kind of nod their head. Sometimes I feel like they're telling me what I want to hear. I don't know what's going on, right? And oftentimes our teens are responding in that way because of our lecturing. We're talking at them. We're not including them in the conversation. So it feels taxing for them. Teens in my office space tell me often, my parents, they talk at me. They ask me a question, but they don't give me a time to respond. They don't understand how I feel. I just stay quiet, or I tell them what they want to hear just to get it over with. That happens a lot. And I get that a lot from teens, and my job is to help you guys build that bridge together, right? It's really a basic human desire for all of us, whether you're a child, a teenager, or an adult, to want to feel heard, valued, understood, and accepted. So let's jump into these tips. So tip number 1 is ask questions. Ask questions, ask questions. Especially if you want to teach them something, you're trying to show them a different perspective, a different value. Just pause and formulate your thought or your teaching into a question, and then give them time to respond. That's super important. Teenagers, they're impulsive. They need that time to process and think and put together what their thoughts are and how they feel, right? That way they can feel understood. So, here are some example questions. You can say things like, to walk me through the steps it took for you to get to that decision. What are some other options do you have? Um, Stay away from open-ended questions where they're just going to say yes or no. Ask them, how did you come to that decision, right? That's going to open up the discussion. Tip number 2, pause. Pausing is so important. As a counselor, that's one of the techniques that we use very often is pausing, 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 pausing. It can be really hard to pause. So ask them and then pause. Allow them the time that they need to answer. It might be painful at first to wait a long time. I mean, sometimes I often pause 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and I just wait. I like to tell my teens, even my teen at home, when they respond, I don't know, that's okay. It's okay not to know. Take your time. Take your time to think about it. And then wait. And that's what I do. I wait. Tip number 3, take a break. You need a break to process, especially if you're having a hard discussion, something that they got in trouble, you got a call from the school, something that disappointed you as a parent. It can be really hard, right? These conversations. Give yourself a break to process how you're feeling. Talk with someone else about it. Talk to your co-partner, your co-parenter about it. Talk to somebody, write it out, listen to some music, whatever it is that you need to kind of let yourself take a breather. When we are what's called dysregulated, super angry, our emotions are high, our rational side of our brain pretty much goes offline, and we're on a primitive or a lizard brain. That's where our fight, flight, freeze is coming in, and it's really hard to have a rational, sound discussion when they're really that elevated as far as our emotions. So de-escalate yourself before you go have this. So take a break. And when you find yourself in the discussion, getting, emotional, reactive, getting dysregulated, give yourself a break. Give them a break. Give them the break that they need. Oftentimes, I tell my own teen, the teens in my room, you need 5 minutes. Let's take 5. I can tell we're getting really upset. Let's take a break. Conversations can be really hard. This is, give your brain and their brain an opportunity to cool off, right? So those are your 3 tips for today. Until I see you next time, have a great one.